Alright, here I am, trying to remember all the stuff that I've forgotten to do so far, one of which apparently is starting Fontificator, so let me do that now. Yes, open that. Okay, opened with the correct profile, that's timely, but yes. Yes, today it is time to... oh boy, it is time to play another Castlevania, as it usually is. Apparently now with me it's always that time. You know, even when I was playing Dark Souls, I was secretly playing Castlevania all along. That's a secret. But the game I will be playing today will be another remake of Castlevania 1. I say another as if we've seen like a whole lot of those at this point, but... well, if I look at the picture of all this stuff I've... oh boy. All the stuff I've played so far for the stream, then... I think... well, the only one that I played for the stream... well, I say the only one I played for the stream and that I finished, I guess, would be Super Castlevania 4, but I also played Vampire Killer and the other one, Haunted Castle, the arcade one. And those three games, technically, are remakes of Castlevania 1, and now here's another one, so this would be the fourth one that I play. And the second one, though, that I actually finish. So let me go ahead and get to the thing that I need to get to, you know, actually play it. Play it now with a PlayStation controller that, you know, actually works, because this was a PS1 release. Well, the version that I have, at least, is a PS1 release. There is technically another little backstory behind this particular game. See how well software capture works with this. It works, looks like it's gonna work at least. Without too many hiccups. Unlike the Kega Fusion capture, it looks like this one's actually going to be cooperative, I guess. Hang on. I get the feeling I'm gonna have to resize this a little bit. And that will suffice, I think. So while we watch this little intro here, I guess I might as well check a few things with the sound. Because with the volume that the game has right now, I get the lingering suspicion that all might not be as it's supposed to be. So yes, this is Castlevania Chronicles. I'm gonna check the option, or I'm gonna try to check the option, there we go. Just so I can check, like, the... yep, on stereo. Oh, data from memory card, save... arrange option, arrange mode setting, adjust screen. Okay. I don't really see what adjustments you could make, but... okay, you press circle to go back. So before I actually start, I'm going to restart this real quick, because I need to check something with the thingy to make sure that the volume is properly, correctly performing as it should be. It might already be, but I'm being paranoid. Hang on. Okay. Looks like I was indeed being paranoid, but, you know, doesn't hurt to be paranoid every once in a while. Okay, it should, you know, I just started the thing again, there we go, it should show up, and it has, so let's see if we can actually play the game now. And in doing so, I can go over the little history that this game has. Basically, this is a re-release, technically, of the game. And, you know, you might notice original mode and arranged mode here, and it's kind of a subtle little hint as to the game's actual origin, I guess you could say, even. Basically, this is a re-release of another game called Castlevania Dracula, that originally came out for a home computer in Japan called the Sharp X68000. And, you know, originally that, just like with Vampire Killer, that was a Japan-only thing, but eventually they decided to release it on the PlayStation, and basically they include the original mode and kind of remade, graphically updated mode. And, actually, wait a minute, there's just one more thing I need to, don't worry, I don't need to restart completely for this, but there is one more thing I need to, there we go, address before I continue, and I have, so let's do the original mode, shall we? Let's check the original intro. Looking a little bit different, but you know, if you harken back to a few minutes ago when we saw the CG intro, you can see where that came from, kind of. And if memory serves as to the order in which these games were released, this would be the first of two intros in this sort of pixelated animation style. That would go to games that were not originally released internationally, but that were still pretty good. It's kind of quiet though. Oh well. Let's see how the volume from the actual game is, because I think that it's a little bit louder. Let me push the volume a little bit in OBS. Maybe that'll help. So this is the X68000 version. It came out in '93, the year I was born. What is sound mode? Oh, we can test the musics from the game. Something loopy. Rush hard in the cave. Wished child. I don't think that's quite spelled right. Bloody tear, just a one. Tower of Gears, Moonfights. Simon Belmondo, who we play as again. This truly is just another, well, not just another, but full-on recreation. Well, not completely, you know, unchanged recreation of Castlevania 1, obviously, but kind of tries to be that a little more than some of the other remakes we've seen. So let's get started with the game, shall we? Oh boy. See if I can avoid the mouse cursor going unfortunate places. My name, I think this allows you to have 8 characters, so let's see if I can do this again. Apparently you can't hold it in that direction and expect it to go. You know, in before it's one character short in the end. Oh, it's exactly right. There we go. So let's start with player 1. It's a little bit quiet, isn't it? Oh well. That's better, I think. So let's play Castlevania Chronicles. Which, let's see exactly how close this game is gonna be to, you know, Castlevania the original. Already we can see that we got the bridge, which was not there in the first Castlevania. We got like we had like an entrance where we could actually jump over the entrance and get like a secret item if you could jump back before you actually enter the castle in that first screen. Unfortunately, I don't think, yeah, and this is like the one game that was released after like Castlevania 4 where you can't actually jump and then get on the stairs. You have to get on the stairs from a solid surface, which is an unfortunate mechanic to have after kind of getting spoiled by how it works in Castlevania 4 and others who followed its direction. But still, we can cope. We can cope like always as long as we don't run out of lives. Gotta be really careful with life management, just like in every other Castlevania that I've played. Oh. Also, well, this, you know, you might already have realized that this is one of those good old recreations of Stage 1 from Castlevania 1 that we have in so many of these games, but you know how there's usually wall meat over there? There's not wall meat there anymore, it's something much worse. So, I'm not sure why they decided to change that for this. I guess to mess with people who expected to see that in every version of the game. Oh god. Well, as you can see though, we still got the good old Castlevania birds deaths. Even when the birds aren't actual birds, but rather projectiles of various sorts. Oh boy, I wasn't trying to do that time. Oh well, I escaped pretty quickly. Oh god. Alright, that worked out. And I personally prefer original or arranged. I don't know. Honestly, because from what I've seen, I've only played like through each version once, pretty much in preparation for this, but from what I remember, pretty much the only real difference is like some of the graphics and some of the... There we go. That secret is there. Some of the music, I don't remember if there's like any big gameplay changes or anything. So I don't know if I would really pick one over the other just based on that. Then again, I could be wrong. There could be more stuff that I'm not remembering. But I guess we'll find out over the course of this. Oh god, I was trying to fall down and then attack these dudes when I'm down here. Didn't quite make it all the way off the edge the first time though. I think too that this is the first game that has the peeping eye enemies in that configuration, because if I'm not mistaken, the enemies that are basically floating eyes that like drop little acid tears on you that have shown up in previous games. They showed up in Castlevania 3 and in Castlevania 4, but I think this is the first game where you see them with that sort of eye nerve tail, and they fly around and try to get you. Also, it's a good thing we got the X, because guess what we have coming up here? It's a good old goofy giant bat boss, although it's arguably not quite as goofy in this version. Kind of a different thing it does with turning into several little bats in between each hit. Also a pretty funky boss theme that we have for this game, I approve of it. You can actually do that, you can get rid of some of the little bats, but I don't know if you can actually kill him by like doing that and somehow getting all the bats before he reforms. But I don't think if you hit like the, you know, little fragmented bats, I don't think that actually does damage to him. Unless maybe you can get all of them, but I've never seen... I don't know if that can happen. The simplest way to enunciate that, I guess. So let's check out the map. So this is where, the game starts getting a little bit different. This isn't quite stage 2 that we remember. With Medusa at the end. Oh, things are a little bit changed now. Taking a bit of a license with how stuff works. But if I'm not mistaken too, there's actually, even though this is like one of the lesser known Classicvanias, I guess, you could say there are some things in this game that are very subtly referenced in some of the later Castlevanias. I've noticed after playing through parts of it. And I think we start seeing some of that in this stage, because this is the first stage that's actually, originally from this version. Like these stalactites that fall from the sky, or from the ceiling, I guess. They fall from above, that's a way to encompass both of those things. Looks like a pretty inconspicuous background event, but something like really similar happens in one of the screens in Order of Ecclesia, which was the last Metroidvania. And I think if you look at the, the whole atmosphere, the graphics side by side, you can pretty much see that it's a deliberate thing rather than a coincidence, which you might think. Stalactites are a common thing, like the wicked water reptiles that we just killed. But I think if you, I don't know if you can picture the scene I'm thinking of in your head, it's a lot clearer that it's supposed to be a reference. But of course that's not the only thing. It's got this giant dragon skeleton embedded in the rocks. Just something to keep in mind for later. Oh boy. And trying to turn is not very easy if you spam the whip like I do. So as you may have guessed, you might have assumed there's actually a few different little routes you can take to get through this cave. Just kind of taking the most straightforward path I can find, because this cave is not a particularly forgiving one. As you might have seen. Oh. I think though if you can get past this guy you find something a little bit interesting, namely this guy with the flutes. You can get some stuff off of him, I think. I don't know how. Oh, okay. I don't think you ever see him again either, so... to my knowledge. Not me, the great secret hunter, except I'm not at all. Oh boy. Also, it's very, very easy to... if you were very impatient, to fall down here before you realize that this thing exists. And now for one of the most completely fun and not at all sarcastic statement from me parts of the game. So we're on a raft here, as you can see. It's not a particularly stable one, unfortunately. Oh. And as you might imagine, one of the biggest dangers in this screen is falling off the edge, but it's kind of superseded by just losing all your health if you're bad at not getting hit like I am. Also watch out for that lion head, which does shoot you if you let it exist for too long. Well, at least there's a pattern to how things work here. It alternates between which side gets tipped over. Or tipped, I don't know how to phrase it. But I already forgot which side it's gonna be, so I'm probably gonna fall off here. Okay, no. It's all the way down to 3 though, we're pretty much in the home stretch. 3 logs wide raft. But we still gotta watch out here. I think you can jump through this, yes, and you have to because the raft disintegrates and then you fall off because you can't jump in time. That works. I tell you, we're gonna run out my stock of lives at this rate. Gotta watch out not to... Oh boy. Really lost track of what was happening there. Okay, oh hey, I think this is the first 2D Castlevania that I played where you actually can turn while crouch. That's amazing. That's one of my biggest hang-ups with the, 2D Classicvanias, and I guess they addressed it for this one, so there's that. Okay, jump, jump, jump. There we go. Got a second draft, which is clearly bad news, or is it? Because we're to the boss already. The boss being this giant skeleton dragon, which, yeah, just a little bit different, isn't it, from... I think staying on the left side of the raft here is mostly a good idea when you're not in danger of getting out of that fight, when he apparently does the fire and tips the thing at the same time, which I did not realize he could do, but... So there we go. That usually takes me a lot longer, because I suck at that part of the stage. But not this time, I suppose. Well, even if you, get a game over, I think, unlike Quit, this kind of follows the UI, the kind of main menu UI that the first ever release of Castlevania for the Famicom Disk System had, which was, it actually allowed you to save and pick the game back up later. Also, the tree bark people are back. Kind of like Zelda, I guess. Didn't quite have that functionality for the international NES release, but pretty sure that the appearance of the main menu in this one is like an attempt at recreating that look that the Famicom one had. Also, the background music here, we got a Jesse remix of Wicked Child, which is the Stage 3 theme from Castlevania 1. And, unfortunately, we also have lots of Fleeman to go along with it, as you can see. Fleeman in a very long screen with no mercy. And death. That's never off the table. I don't know if you get any checkpoints partway through this, or if you have to do the whole thing in one. You probably have to do the whole thing in one go, but it's not really helped along by the fact that apparently you, much like in Castlevania 1, it's gotten to the point where you take a whole bunch of damage from one hit. Fortunately, I'm not good at dodging the Fleeman, as you can see. Also, apparently I was not aware of this, but apparently the Fleemen were actually called, Hunchbacks initially, but the Fleeman thing was a nickname that kind of just stuck, and it eventually became the official name. Oh god. So this might take a little while. I don't know if I'm gonna have to awaken my other vampire hunter powers for this. I hope not. I'd hope to get through as much of this as I could without those, but I don't know. Don't want to see the same part of this stage too many times. Also, I almost forgot about the diagonal whipping. It's in this game, as you can see, or multiple directions whipping, I guess. Not quite to the same extent. You can do it diagonally down and straight down, but not up in any capacity, because you use the, up and the button to use a sub-weapon. Which is the traditional way to do it, I guess. So let's see if I can just react to all the Fleemen here fast enough to just not get murdered by them. I think the Fleemen might be out though, because now we got these wicked water particles that spot him like screw it, I don't really want to deal with that. Just please take me to the next screen. Except you're not going to, are you? Also got archers like in Bloodlines, even though this game technically came out before that, so this is where they would have originated from. Oh god. And let's just try to get past. Alright, there we go. Can't jump up there, unfortunately, so let's see if we can just outrun this dude. Alright, are we finally to the end of the screen? I think we are. So that took some doing. But at least we didn't have to awaken my incredible vampire hunter powers to deal with that. Oh god. Also we got toads. Pretty sure there are toads, not frogs, because this is in fact one of those games that along with Rondo of Blood, this game I believe pretty much originated a wealth of sprites, enemy sprites that got pretty much recycled over and over into a lot of the later Castlevania titles that had the technical capacity to have these sort of sprites. Okay. Made it to the next screen at least, so this is gonna be interesting. As you can see, we got an ice stage now. It's gonna be so much fun. Ice stage with friction, because of course there's that slidey ice friction. I see that bat up there. You know what? I'll keep the cross. Watch out for the ice pillar that goes up and tries to impale you on the spikes. And these platforms at least these aren't slidey, there is that. Also note the people trapped in the ice here, that's an interesting detail to have. Unfortunately I don't believe you can save any of them. They're just kind of there for decoration. And so I forget, can you like stand on the breakable ice long enough that you can that it cracks, or no, I guess not, you just gotta whip it to actually break it, so you kinda have to realize that you can whip in multiple directions. That moment when your bong named Silo and the mission named Silo are both oh boy. The mission named Silo. Are you playing GoldenEye? Am I getting that reference right? I never actually played GoldenEye with any sort of competence, but I do have a vague memory of when I was a kid and my cousin had it for the N64, that level was called that. So I guess the way you do this is, okay, you don't have the committed jump as much as in other arcadey titles. You can kind of change your trajectory, as you can see. Kind of like Grunt could, I guess. Grunt Dynasty style jump. Oh boy. As you can see, we got Fleaman trapped in the ice too, that unfortunately we can free. I need to do away with in short order. Oh god. But I guess if we're wily we can avoid freeing a good number of them. Oh god. Also we got Count Orlok frozen in carbonite, as you can see. Little Star Wars joke, I suppose. Thinking, let's see if I can take care of this guy first, and then yeah, it's gonna be so much easier now. Assuming he doesn't come back, which he might. Okay, he didn't. Was there another guy up there, but I guess he wasn't a problem. Yes, I'm not so good at identifying which shades of color of the ice are the ones that can be broken, but... Okay, I think we might have made it to the boss, so... Oh shit, hang on. Give me a moment, by the way, because I think I'm going to make a little save state here, because this guy's not so bad as your typical bosses, especially considering that There's one attack that he does a whole bunch that I don't think actually hurts you. Which is kind of weird, but if you die to him, he does in fact. Boy, summoning the goof demon. Oh god. If you die to him, you will in fact have to redo a big chunk of the stage, and I'm not okay with that. Like, he sent you all the way back to the beginning of the screen, pretty much. Okay, we did it. That was the Ice Wizard. I'm trying to get the pose, like, where you jump and you grab the orb when you have the whip fully extended, but apparently I'm not so good at that right now. So we're up to Medusa now, I guess. Stage 4. I didn't even realize that this was level 4 already, because apparently I'm bad at counting. Okay, so it's Medusa, so we actually have a... You know, this is the stage that actually matches up to stage 2 in Castlevania 1. And we got Bloody Tears. Wonder if there will be any Castlevania birds in this stage. It probably will be, considering that, you know, this is Medusa territory. And we all know what that means. Yep, there they are, already. They're a little bit smaller, which I guess might be a good thing, because they might be easier to avoid, but at the same time I think pretty sure that means they're harder to hit if you're actually trying to hit them. Oh boy, and the bone pillars take 5 hits to kill. That's very, very old school Castlevania. So let's see. Apparently we also got that statue from the Spirit Temple in Ocarina of Time in the background here. Also blood skeletons, which, as you might recall, I'm pretty sure this is like the blood skeleton sprite that gets reused in every single Castlevania that came after this that could reuse these sprites. This is the origination of it. And of course, oh, you got the Bloody Tears. That's what the background music is pretty appropriate. See, the statue cries Bloody Tears, and the Bloody Tears turn into blood skeletons. Nice little audio-visual pun there. Or audio-visual complementing pun, I guess. Don't know if that's even a pun or a reference, just because a pun is something different. It's when you... a word that's spelled and pronounced the same way has multiple meanings, and you use it in a context that can be used to, or it can be interpreted as both meanings. Oh boy. Pretty sure there's are instant death, so, you know, good old Castlevania spikes. And only the middle one actually lets you duck under it and survive. Is there anything over here? Pretty sure there's wall meat in this game. And I could definitely use some wall meat right now. Oh boy. Okay, let's give this a try. Oh shit, okay, it's not instant death. But it's pretty close, or at least these aren't instant death. I'm pretty sure the ones below, if I had to bet, they probably are. Oh god, okay, well. That was kind of an extremely entrapping situation there. So it takes a little while to reload the stage each time, it seems. Oh god, where am I? Am I in the same room? Did that batch take off 4 bars of health? Oh boy. Might have to use some time powers for this. Oh, okay, never mind, these aren't instant death either. That's actually really surprising. Unfortunately, we already know that there's not wall meat here, so... You know, if I can hopefully get to the end of this little ledge without dying, should be my salvation. Well, the bat does not help. Okay. Somehow did it that time. Oh, hey, in the background in this. Pretty sure the background in this screen and maybe the whole layout of it is a reference to like the second or third screen that you go to in the first level of Castlevania 3. You got the big stairs climb with the stained glass in the background. That matches up to the... Okay, I trust they're not gonna make me redo the spike room. Seriously now, alright. No, I'm sorry, I've done this once, it's time for some extra... An extra dose of hunter powers now, I believe. I think once was enough. Come on, I'm waiting. There we are. Hunter powers and also just making sure that I don't die on the next screen, I guess. Which I guess I will do by just leaving my hunter powers on for now. I'll turn them off again in just a bit, but for now I do want to, you know, not die and have to redo the other room again. So if I've already come to the conclusion that that's not gonna happen, why even bother turning them off? Well, that's different. We got a stained glass mass, I guess. Yes, might be a little bit like the stained glass knight from Haunted Castle, but okay, except not at all. It just kind of shoots itself at you. Stained glass knight, which is a reference to young Sherlock Holmes, I'm pretty sure. So let's see, we made it to the boss. I think that's about my one press, so... let me turn off my hunter powers again. I think I'm gonna rely on time powers a little more so I don't have to keep doing this. When the time comes. Come on, there it goes. Hey, it's Medusa again. And we got the big cross in the background, just like the background of our boss fight in Castlevania 1, but unlike that boss fight, she's actually, you know, not just ahead. Oh boy, we're not doing so great at this. Apparently, you know, who could have guessed that? Could have guessed that, so if you died ahead, it should start you all the way back at the other spiky room, because that's... yeah, it does, okay. Let's not deal with that, shall we? Well, we do have the holy water, which is supposed to be like the best weapon against her, but... apparently damage race is not quite gonna work. Oh god, okay. She does so much more damage than I do. Oh boy. Try to be hitting her on the head, is that better? Might be, but... Could it be that I have to re-enable my true vampire hunter powers for this, because I'm actually a little bit puzzled as to how not to die here. But you know, I generally am. But like even more so today. Okay, so... I was gonna say at least the ray thing that turns you to stone doesn't hurt you, but it might as well. If you're close to her, she just kinda whips you with her tail, which... okay, maybe stay at more or less this distance. Okay, no, that doesn't work as well as I thought it would, but it works fairly well. Okay, if I stay precisely this far away... Oh god. But you can still kinda try to rush you. I don't know, this seems like a good place to stand. To duck, to stay. I think I might have found the pro strat here. I believe I just did. There we go. And of course the snakes that we're wrapping around the cross. There we go. Gotta do it a little before the last sound dies out. Apparently the snakes that were surrounding the cross also turn to stone and die, get destroyed. That ain't no stuff of Hermes, I tell you. So next we got, oh boy, the werewolf, by the looks of things. Well, if I recall, this is actually this werewolf's a little bit different from other werewolves that... Actually, I don't know, have we even seen... Like, werewolves are pretty common in the later games, but I don't know if they're like any of them have made an appearance in any games before this one. I think this might actually be the first werewolf that boss that you find in a Castlevania game. But unfortunately we do have the obligatory clock tower level. Makes things a little bit more complicated for us. Oh god. I think we're gonna take the long road. Not quite sure what this music is. Doesn't quite have the same Castlevania cadence that some others might. But we got the teeter-totter platforms from Castlevania 3 again. Move a little bit slower this time at least. Fuck. Seriously get frozen in midair because I got hit. Okay. It's interesting. Oh god. Alright. Let's try not to have that happen again and instead die. Although it might be worth it to try and not take the long way and instead try to take the cheap way with the platforms that go up and down. I think I'm gonna try that this time. If you try to jump and whip, it's not gonna work pretty much. That's what I'm getting here. And we've already gotten to the point where... I don't think this was such a big problem in the other Classicvanias, but we've already gotten to the point where one hit will take away, like, a big chunk of your health bar. I'm having no luck here, as you can see. No luck whatsoever. Okay, for my sake during this stage, I think it might be a good idea to keep this turned on from this point on. You wanna go ahead and do that. Feel that will make this whole trick a little bit easier. Easier to stomach from both sides, I think. Of course, I'm not immune to bottomless pits still, so you know that's still in play. yeah, you can actually... If you make it all the way to the top of on the other platforms that rise up, can you even get up here? Because I see that they like lead to some spikes. So that might be a trap, I don't know. Oh boy. You know what, just run. Yeah. Ah. Okay, we'll just pretend this isn't happening. Just pretend that I got this on the first try. Just pretend that that didn't happen either. Yeah, remember these things from Bloodlines, even though I think this thing came first. This game technically came first. Because this is the original version. Original version, which, yeah, I think I'm gonna be pretty unapologetic with using my Vampire Hunter powers from this point on, because, you know, I do want to, oh god, I do want to show off both versions, so, okay, I'm officially not quite sure what to do here. I mean, quite a pickle, you could say. Well, maybe if well, I guess you're not supposed to, you know, expect it to survive this, so I should die, in theory, that's what I should do, but, okay, I will die. I thought maybe if you got hit by a Medusa head, you could somehow save that. Like get knocked out of the... knocked out of the pit and back into the other thing. So I'm officially very confused as to what you're expected to do there to just get past a big spike wall without that happening. Actually, I just now realized this, and I could be wrong, but listening to the music here... Oh, Jesus. Okay, we'll just pretend that didn't happen. Listening to the music, I feel like they might have remixed some parts of this into a boss theme later in the series. Seems like a bit of a stretch, though, I say. Maybe not. Okay, you know what? Let me do that. Okay, I guess that's what you do. Oh boy, we're gonna have to release the Fleaman here to get past. This game's kind of sadistic, you realize, in quite a few parts. Like even more wantonly than a lot of the other Castlevanias. At least we don't get mid bosses like we did in Bloodlines. Not to say that I didn't like them in Bloodlines, but I mean that game was considerably quite a bit easier than this, I think it's safe to say. You know, even when you don't play with incredible Vampire Hunter powers like I do. Yeah, watch out for the gears that pop out of the background and potentially come after you. Because, you know, obviously gears can do all sorts of neat stuff, like go up and down the stairs. I say go up and down because you can see them going down, but they can go up as well. You know, just take my word for it. We might actually see that if I linger around this area long enough. I might as well show that, I guess. Or not. Never mind, that one didn't want to go up the stairs. Although they can. Alright, I kind of want to see what's, you know, in this. Okay, I want to see what's in there and get it as well, but apparently I can't do both. Which is very, very unfortunate. At least they had a good sense to, you know, make this thing gravitate back towards this position, or you would be screwed if you did what I just did. Of course, hang on. So I guess what you're expected to do here is jump our way back up there so that see, there goes the gear. And, well, it really doesn't want to go up the stairs now. Is this one gonna do it, though? No. I'm gonna go ahead and knock it off, because I don't want to. Don't want it to be in the way, even though there's another one. Thereby rendering the... rendering my desires completely and totally moot. Okay. Oh jeez, of course he would put that there. And the enemies don't get hurt by the gears, because why would they? Oh, see, that gear's going up the stairs. Those gears can do that. That's why they also invented cars with square wheels. Yeah, that was a terrible joke. It was a terrible joke when I heard it as a kid in, like, 99, and it's terrible now. Oh god. So yeah, this is probably the most wantonly sadistic clock tower level I've ever seen. Can I even, like, get that guy? If I can't, I think I might just... Okay, there we go. Like, try to jump over to that platform and get out of the way. Before the fireballs can get me, but oh, the boss is right here, so if we were to die hypothetically to this boss, we would actually have to redo some big parts of the terrible climb, I'll bet. This boss, who is not quite just a werewolf, but a she-werewolf, as you can see. And one of the most vicious werewolf fights in the series. She just kind of rips off giant parts of this clock tower trying to kill you, including the numbers. And then she rips off the minute hand, I guess. I'll come back, Red Bear. And then we get a little modesty cloth to take her away. Not sure how that works, but apparently it does. Oh, whoops. That doesn't match the time. No, it doesn't. Whenever I see a clock in a video game that moves, I try to figure out if it matches the local time that I have, but apparently that one doesn't. It's definitely not 3 anything right now. Boy. Wonder who this next evil villain could be that we've got in this next stage. This next stage where we can see the castle keep in the background there. And which I think would have been slightly modeled off of the final stage in Castlevania 4. Or at least it starts off the same way pretty much. Got this vertical little obstacle course with sword-wielding enemies that stab you. And are also very skeleton-y. And that is followed by... Oh, hello. Didn't know that was there. Actually saw the... Oh, but how do you actually grab that then? Do you have to just like make a mad dash after triggering its appearance? Maybe. PS1 version, yes. Hello, Cebreros, but this is indeed the PS1 version. Am I gonna be able to get out of this? Because I think this is, this is not NES style where you can, like, jump upward through the blocks. If I'm not mistaken, you actually bump your head on the blocks if you jump upward into them, so that's no good. Oh boy. Yeah, this looks fun. But the collapsing bridge is also, I think, a little nod to Castlevania 4 here. Oh god. I don't think we're gonna make it yet, because that one part over there takes longer to fall. So I pretty much have to not get hit by the Medusa heads at any point. I think I might prefer the version of the collapsing bridge from Castlevania 4 though, where the bat, or the bridge turns into bats as it crumbles away. So I contend that that version was a bit less, you know, a bit less of a problem to deal with. Was that bridge ever standing? I don't know. Dracula, I guess. Now there's a line I could say that comes up in Symphony. You know, something I wonder looking at these games is like, if you look at the castle keep, it's pretty much like a big sort of big stone hole that's suspended very high in the air. And apparently the only thing that supports it is the stairway that leads to it. I don't think that's how that would work in real life. Also there's a line I was thinking and then I interrupted myself with that thought. There's a line in Symphony of the Night that kind of hand waves some of how the castle itself is supposed to work. And it's one of those things that you can just kind of bring up to... Okay, time to use my time powers here to ensure I don't have to just do this too many times. It's one of those things you can bring up to explain away pretty much anything weird or inconsistent. Okay, good. I got propelled forward at least. But I think I'm gonna wait until I actually play that game to specify what line that is. Okay, so we need to keep up to actually not... Oh god. I don't think I'm gonna make it... yeah. So if you fall behind too much, that's the problem. So let's... There we go, use my time powers to just jump straight back to the bridge. And that might be a good idea to... Okay, I got knocked back there. That's probably gonna... Oh god.
Castlevania birds, they're my darkest nightmare.
Okay, it didn't quite throw me completely out of sync. Also, that was so much louder than the game. It's usually at least... Oh god. That was close. There was a better way to do this. I don't even know anymore. Yeah, that was pretty loud compared to the game. I don't know why it's so quiet for this game. It usually isn't. Usually the games are a bit louder at least. God, I thought maybe the cross would help. That's why they kind of give it to you as an option, but I guess not today. Oh god, there's the end. Okay, finally we did it. I did it completely of my own merit, clearly. Oh god, and now we got something that's also pretty sadistic to follow that up. This is a Tower of Dolls. And if you look around a little bit, you will see where the name comes from. It has this music which gets reused in a much later game. Also these dolls which speak Japanese, some of the flying ones. Very short remarks. Don't know if they're gonna do that except for when I kill them. Pretty sure they're saying yeah, which is no in Japanese. Oh yeah, this is a power-up that I've never seen until now. As you can see, the dolls kind of dodge your whip strikes if you kind of try to aim for them. I don't know, maybe they took the voice clips out of this version. But at least in the Sharp X68 version original, they said some stuff if you left them alone for a while. Guess they're not doing it in this one though. Stuff like can't remember the exact Japanese way of saying it, but stuff like stop, who are you, and go away, I think. Kinda weird though, I guess. Because it's not so obvious that that little yell they say when they die is supposed to be an actual word. That's why they left that in. But the little sprig of parsley that I have right now as a sub-weapon actually heals you. It costs like 10 hearts, which, you know, is pretty expensive, but I think it's pretty much the only... like, one of maybe two if you count one of the sub-weapons from Legends, that one of the few things in Castlevania, classic Castlevania, that actually heals you, that you can do that on demand by using hearts. Also this area right here, with all the mirrors. Pretty sure one of the areas in Aria of Sorrow, which is one of my favorite Castlevanias, is pretty much designed to be reminiscent of this area. It's got the same sort of appearance with the mirrors, and it's got the same sort of color palette. Charge for the Sonic Spin Dash mirrors. Oh boy, who's ready for the best boss ever, by the way, the most beloved sort of battle that can exist in the series. Well, it's evil doppelganger Simon, who has green skin for some reason. Oh god, does he move in the same pattern as what's-his-face from Belmont's Revenge? That's a battle that left me traumatized, let me tell you. God, I can just spam the whip too. I think he might if you leave him alone long enough. There we go. I already know he bleeds mirrors, isn't that incredible? I don't think any other... You know, I don't think it can be said of any other enemy in the series that they bleed mirrors. So that's a pretty unique thing, at least. I don't know, maybe the Stained Glass Knight or Stained Glass Mass do the same, but it wouldn't quite have the same impact, like mirrors spewing out of... Check out the little Dracula signature on the map, by the way. Mirrors spewing out of something that doesn't look like mirrors belong inside of it. So we're up to the stage that's supposed to echo level 4, no, level 5. Why do I always say level 4? I guess because 4 is death. Maybe that's rubbing off on me now. But this is supposed to be like level 5 of Castlevania 1, which is death's lair, I guess. We got a bunch of trapped people, and oh god. I also got this thing, this werewolf cyclops hybrid, I guess. That was strange. Yeah, I guess I'll get holy water. It's not quite as loud, but I think it's actually overpowering the game audio, which it hasn't done in a long time. I'm pretty sure there's an enemy up here that is kind of unique looking. Look at all the piles of bones at the bottom of the screen. It's this thing, the skeleton spider, which might seem kind of goofy and inconspicuous, but oh shit. There's actually an enemy later in the series that's pretty much modeled after this one enemy that you only see here. Kind of, I guess you could keep that enemy's appearance in mind. If you can manage to do it for like... I don't know how many more games. Eventually it'll get referenced, just, you know, like a bunch of other stuff that I've been mentioning. I guess I tend to bring it up when, you know, something that has pretty much originated from another game gets referenced in a later game. I do try to bring it up. But still, isn't it great to notice these sorts of things yourself? It's a great exercise in perceiving metatextuality or intertextuality. A little bit of both. Even though the second is technically contained by the first, I think. Oh. Are you gonna come here? I don't trust you to stay down there. There. See, I knew I couldn't trust him to stay down there. Oh. Just chill to get past it. Who would ever do such a thing? Certainly no one that I know of, as I deal with the skeleton jump rope here. Oh, okay. I forgot about that. That's a pretty bullshit trap, honestly. I'm very, very unrepentant about... Oh, there's wall meat there. Well, at least you got to see what the wall meat looks like. But at this point, I think I'm very unrepentant about using the full extent of my vampire hunter powers to get past this. So I don't know how you're supposed to, I guess you can just duck under that thing. A lot of the traps in this game I'm noticing, like, I'm just very confused as to what the intended way of getting past them without getting hurt is. Oh god. So the axe armors in this game, as you can see, they got nifty shield to protect them now. Which makes dealing with them more annoying than ever. Or at least I guess they're very, very weak once you knock out the shield, so there's that. Oh boy. Lots of people lined up in coffins and hanging by their... getting suspended by their heads, I guess. And just kind of lying out in this little catacomb type recesses in the background. Ossuary, maybe? Well, speaking of stuff that I'm not sure how you're supposed to get past, legitimately. Here is Frankenstein's monster, just kind of hanging out. He's got a chain attached to his hand, as you can see. He will follow you up here, but he will not try to adjust his horizontal position after you lure him to this position, so you can just do this over and over. And I guess he must, because he takes a lot of hits, as you can see. But he should eventually die. So how about the weather, eh? Oh, there he goes. So let's see. Oh, forget about that. We got fetuses in jars as well. Coming to life and attacking you. With some kind of nondescript energy projectile thing. Also it looks like some sort of mini pterodactyl skeleton in the back. That's interesting. And a bunch of other skeletons, there's like an actual shark jaw up there, I notice. And who knows what all the other crap in the jars are. I'm not a phrenologist, I can't figure this stuff out. Well, I guess an archaeologist would be a better example of that. Right. Watch out you don't run out of time, by the way. You got less than 2 minutes to complete the stage at this rate. Okay, I didn't know that wall meat was there, so let's just get that, I guess. Let's go to the place that's suddenly outside, even though we're apparently deep inside Dracula's castle, so this is a bit confusing, isn't it? How we could suddenly be here, except maybe we weren't here after all. Maybe we were tricked into believing we were there, but we actually weren't. Just like we might have been tricked to think we were in MC Escherland. even though I'm pretty sure MC Escher wasn't alive in 1691, which is when this game is supposed to take place. And other paintings, including grimacing sketch, and pretty sure this was in The Simpsons in one of the Halloween episodes, but let's go meet the mad artist responsible for making all these things. We got less than a minute to kill him, to kill death itself, so let's, you know, make a remarkable feat happen even more remarkably somehow. Yeah, like, I'm pretty sure even if you... Like, I don't know. I thought, if memory served, I thought the damage you took from regular enemies in this game was supposed to be a lot less than it's been for me so far in this playthrough. There we go. Oh. Oh, but like before, the stage isn't over until you collect the orb, so I hope it spawns soon. There it goes. 3 seconds left. At least it wasn't 0 seconds like in, you know, in Castlevania 4's first stage. Which apparently let me discover that apparently you can, in fact, somehow beat a Castlevania stage with 0 seconds left on the clock. That was an interesting experience, to say the least. And apparently we're up to the final stage. There's good old Dracula animation there. Oh, and pretty fittingly we got the theme of Simon Belmont to help us through this stage. Through the stage with the armors that take 7 hits to kill with a fully powered whip. And I think a few other things are like secrets. But I don't know. You know, oddly enough, I don't think I remember this sort of this style of background from like any other previous game. I say previous because I think there's I'm thinking of an area in maybe Dawn of Sorrow that is sort of background aesthetic that might be a throwback to this. Well, a couple areas in Dawn of Sorrow. Pretty sure too that if you noticed we get... Look at all those shields down there, by the way. I wonder if we'll ever see them again in any capacity. But I'm pretty sure you can take multiple paths in this stage. That looks suspicious. What's over there? Oh hey, we got a little chapel to Jesus, I guess. I can kneel before him. I'm thinking maybe that unlocks something, but I guess not. Oh, there's wall meat over there. Forgot about that. Kinda makes you wonder why Dracula has a chapel to Jesus in his castle. Well, I guess kinda hidden and unkempt. And apparently Dracula is granted power by the evil deity. According to the intro of, or the... I forget which part, but I think that's mentioned in, I think that's mentioned in either... Oh boy. Either Castlevania 3, the intro or the ending, or one of the Game Boy games. Or is it Legends? I think it might be Legends, actually. I don't remember. Also, it sure is great when you get chandeliers falling down and setting the whole place on fire, and you also got these flaming armors to send attacks after you travel along the floor, which you can't see because of the fire in the foreground. Okay. So this part is the part with all the big bats at the end of Castlevania 1 again. Little throwback there. Just gotta get past without dying. And not even try to fight them. Just Pretty sure they have the, same amount of health as the first boss. Oh yeah. And there's also that, that terrible jump. That pretty much you have to be right on the edge to even make it. I'm gonna wait here. Oh god. Nope, you really gotta be right on the edge to make that. I think I'm gonna try killing all the bats to make that easier, but... Yep, Castlevania birds. But like, the problem there isn't even the Castlevania birds, it's the terrible jump distance that you have to make. Technically, I wasn't knocked into that by the Castlevania birds, but just by my... I guess maybe if I... Hang on, if I, like... I used to watch to try and get inch even closer, but fail. So let's see just how long it takes me to get past this, shall we? There we go. But now that guy's in the way. Okay. Gee, I sure hope there aren't any more jumps like that here. Pretty sure that's what that was, though. Okay, we got the... Instead of the goofy monster face door that we had in Castlevania 1, have that skull, which is kind of goofy as well, but now we have the debut of the Persephone enemies, which are the Kung Fu Ninja maids, as you can see. Enemies that were apparently so popular with, I'm not sure with the fans, if it was with the fans or the designers, but they got reused in quite a few of the Metroidvanias. Starting with Aria of Sorrow, if I'm not mistaken. They can do chi attacks too, I guess. So that's a thing. Oh boy. Get another one of these jumps, but at least this one's not quite as terrible. And that the consequence for failure is not redoing the entire room that leads up to it again. God, okay. Oh, yep, cheating me with the chi attack. Apparently releases these little energy orbs to chase you after it hits something. Okay, let's go then. We're in the final hour with the unfortunate effect of the kind of effects down there cutting off abruptly with the mountains background. Is that the clock tower in the back? Oh yeah, it is. You can barely see that as you're, coming in from the right edge. But there is indeed a clock tower in the back. So here we are again. It's always such a pleasure. And by the way, I'm pretty sure this is the game that originates another famous stylized or style of appearance from Dracula, which is him having the glass and then doing this. Pretty sure that's the first time he does that. So let's go. I'm in so much danger here. Okay. Looks like they're all timing it so that hit him and get fireballs in the same swing. Seems to be the trick. I mean, not that I need to, but still. But at least pretend to have some semblance of skill. Timing seems pretty simple, at least. It's pretty much the same sort of timing as in Bloodlines, from what I can see. Well, maybe a little earlier, like get him as soon as the column of light starts to dissipate, not after. And watch as I think his face is getting a little bit spookier now. Okay, I think if you do it a little too early though, you can... If you time it right, you can trick him into firing all the fireballs so that they... Maybe kill them, so they go over you, but if you do it too late, then he aims down at you. Oh boy. And, well, apparently this is sufficiently tribute paying to Castlevania 1 that Dracula still turns into his blue, goofy monster form after the first form. That jumps around all over the place. That attack is new, though. That attack with the green meteor drops is new. And that claw swipe is kind of weird. I think he doesn't even hit you with it if you're close enough to him. So there we go. That was the Dracula fight. As the background apparently starts to melt around us, even though, you know, if you can keep waiting around then it doesn't finish melting, if you're wondering. Just kind of keeps repeating the same effect. I bet I got a high score, because I never died and it was completely of my own merit. Except I did die, but I didn't get a game over, and that's what really matters. That's the real proof of merit here. So that was the original version, presented by Konami. I forget if Igarashi had anything to do with this. I think he was at least somehow involved in the remake. I don't know. I don't think he was involved with the original version. Shin-chan, wasn't that like an anime? Crayon Shin-chan. Here's Shibata. Ayami Kojima. Oh yeah, this was around the time when Ayami Kojima... Oh, the supervisor to Words was Iga. Okay, so he was involved with this, I guess. And the hero Simon Belmondo, Namura. And from the looks of things, this was apparently when Ayami Kojima, who was the artistic sort of director for a lot of the later Castlevania titles, became involved with the franchise. But yeah, that was Akumajo Dracula for the X68000, which was the version that was released back in '93 for that good old obscure Japanese home computer. And unfortunately, I don't know if there's any way to, like... Well, you can go into New Game Plus, as you can see. You got stage 25 in the corner. I don't think there's any way to, like, quit out of the game once you start playing. Other than dying, I guess. And losing all your lives, but I don't know if I can lose 99 lives, so... Please pardon me for 1 second, I'm gonna have to reset this, and indeed I will, because... That was, as you might recall, that was the original release, but we still have the arranged release to do, so let's watch the updated CG intro again. Listen to the other version of Black Mass again. And let's try and figure out exactly how different both versions were. I don't know why they changed the little spiders into big fat hairy spiders, but... Like the ones in the other 2D intro looked a bit more like Daddy Longlegs, I thought, but... At least that lizard looks more or less the same. I wasn't really paying attention the very first time I was playing this CG intro, so... Let's see if they crush the blood holder, I guess. And if it splashes all over the place like it did in the other 2D intro. Well, apparently not quite. I mean, they do splash some blood with it, but they don't, like, crush it and it spreads outwards. So let's do... Oh shit. Let's do arrange mode is what I was gonna say, but I accidentally picked original mode again because I was not paying attention. Hang on. I think I can back out of this, yeah. There we go. Let's actually do orange mode this time. It's kind of weird. Like a lot of original PS1 games, you have to press triangle to like cancel something, but in this one you press circle. So we can check the ranking, we can do time attack, or we can just start the game. Apparently Dracula has all the high scores right now, so let's see if we can change that, shall we? Let's start the game. As you can see, I already got a file, but let's do name entry again. Let's just have the same name. So I had other files, to be honest, with the original version, but I guess those didn't save. So let's do it. Let's play the arranged version, which has updated graphics and music, as you can see. Simon Belmont now looks like he has this kind of cherry red hair and got more of a weird update on his barbarian look. He's got a sword, but he never uses it. Oh yeah, that soundtrack sounds different, alright. Got a bit more techno-y this time around. Well, the graphics, if I guess, are not going to be terribly different, as you can see. I think a lot of the enemy graphics are pretty much the same. Don't see any real difference with them. But at least the music's different. It's quite a bit. And I guess that's, well, at least for me it would be a big part of the reason to check out the different modes. So given that the bulk of the gameplay, I guess, is pretty much stays the same between both versions, so I'll just, leave my my vampire hunter powers left on for pretty much the whole thing.
Nice.
Hey, Sack3765, thanks for the follow. If you're expecting, professional gameplay, I'm sorry, but at least you get to hear the music, which I'm actually kind of interested to see how they redo some of these, oh god, well, that's still there. How they redo some of the other tracks with this updated, synth style that they've got. I don't know, it's clearly supposed to be a remix of Vampire Killer, but some parts do sound a bit too dissonant for my taste. Like the notes aren't even the same. Let's get the secret down here again, I guess. Crown worth however many points, or try to, because it will disappear eventually. There we go, 1000 points. Clearly the biggest reason why people play Castlevania games is to get a high score. That's the only reason why people pay attention to this series. Let me see if I can turn the volume up a little bit more, hang on. It's at 88% right now. No, hello, I'm trying to... There, focus on the window, that would help. Oh god, look at all those zombies down there. Of course it is, that's why they still make them, yeah. Looks like a party with their hands in the air, yeah, it kinda does, doesn't it? Very cool. Oh god. the part of the music that's playing right now, that's from stage 2. They remixed some of that into Vampire Killer. That's interesting. So let's hear the boss theme. Is it the same? Or... no, not quite. It's definitely more echoey, if nothing else. Oh. I don't know how else to describe it right now. It's definitely redone, though. But it looks like the timing for the orb is more or less the same, at least. It's cashing our 60 hearts for points. HD music with no HD girl. Well, the map looks different. They redid a model of the map, I guess. Kinda looks like some of the CG they used for Symphony. Some of the cutscenes in that. Okay, this definitely sounds a bit quieter, a bit more mellow than the other track did, which I can't remember exactly how that sounded, but certainly not like this, I'm pretty sure. I think they might have done a few changes to this stage. Maybe that's... maybe I'm remembering that wrong, but maybe not. I think I do remember some stuff that happened in this stage that I didn't see when I played the original version just now. Yeah. Pretty sure this didn't sound like this. Didn't have this sort of cadence initially. This very synthy, techno-y cadence. I don't know if you would even call this techno-y, to be honest. I only say that because of the very distinctly synthy sound. Well, now I probably would, now that the beats kicked in. Synthwaver. More drum and bass. You know what? Let's take the lower path this time. See what we missed. You know, maybe that's why I didn't find that other thing I'm thinking of, because I took the wrong path entirely. Pretty sure somewhere here we got different sort of obstacle. Yeah, we got these things, which, if I hadn't grabbed that invincibility jar there, would have been very bad news. Oh yeah, we also had the tail of the skeleton dragon. I think it's gonna launch out. Yeah, there it goes. You can, if you lure it into going out once, you can just go over, yeah. I'm pretty sure you can kill it though, if you hit it enough times. Oh shit. That's a genre. I haven't scrolled over since. Haven't played a lot of Mega Man stuff, maybe I should. Been getting a little more into arcadey, or tiny arcadey 2D games, like more or less in this style because of all the stuff I haven't been playing for this series. Who knows? Well, I know that I am garbage at the... I know I'm garbage at the NES Mega Man because I've tried those, but maybe I'll try some more of the Mega Man X ones. So, hooray, we get to this part again, and I don't think our secret vampire hunter powers can help us now, because... oh shit, I forgot to move back. Because if we fall off here, we die regardless, so... Alright, please go away, thank you. And if I, with any luck, manage not to fucking die here, that will be great. There we go. Oh, sure, PS1, yeah. Well, this is 2. So at least I know that I can emulate that. Now you would think a giant skeletal dragon would be a bit harder to beat, but maybe not. Oh, that was close. Almost. Am I invincible? CCC, I have activated my Vampire Hunter powers to get through the game easier, pretty much. Because I did parts of the game without them, but I don't know. Since I already pretty much went through the entire game, I figure. Oh god. Yep, this checks out. Pretty sure this was under a bit jazzier originally, so. Pretty sure this is redone. Well, there's no doubt that this is redone, but like it's a bit more noticeable than some of the other tracks immediately. Now instead of being jazzy, it's just kind of I don't know. I guess synth wavy is what I'm gonna call it now. Well, I guess you could say that the rhythm is kind of jazzy, but I don't think the instruments are so much. Yeah, these wicked water droplets that are actually very easy to deal with, okay. Shit. Forgot that you were there. Alright, there we go. Do those statues really have decks? I don't know. Pretty sure that there are some instances of that for some reason were not censored out of any of the versions of the games, even though they generally were. We got this mod woman here. Mod women. I guess kinda looks like they're smooth, but I can't really get a good enough look to confirm or disprove that. I know that, for example, when they made the Medusa boss in Castlevania 4, in the original Japanese version, she had nipples, but then when they ported it over to North America NES or SNES, they removed the nipples, even though she was still clearly naked from the well, completely. Because nipples are scary, I guess. Oh shit, okay, well, I guess I'm okay though. Guess I am just that good at the game, totally. So maybe we can kill that worm. I'd like to imagine yes, but I don't really think it's a good idea to try and confirm that. Because that looks like it lives in a very deep pit, so... Still got Count Orlok frozen in carbonite in the background, I guess. They try to change that. I don't know, I thought this looked a little bit more different from what I remembered. It looks like pretty much the extent of what the remake changed, other than... Well, just the extent of what the remake changed was a couple of the graphics and then the whole soundtrack, which is pretty noticeable, but still. Oh. Yeah, the music's good. Like, I don't know if you caught the original theme for the Last Battle with Dracula, the second form, but if my memory serves correctly, that's quite a bit more memorable in this version because of how it sounds. There we go. And I sure do love how during the first fight with this guy before, I didn't even get to see that he makes those ice pillars to help you get higher to reach him. Also, the God of Baphomet is in the background of this stage. I almost forgot to mention that. Not that it's very visible, or it's gonna be visible much longer, but it's there. It's got the same pose and everything. And there it goes. I wonder if this map also has Dracula's signature at the end. And yeah, here's the point where I'm pretty sure I would have turned on my secret powers anyway, so this is where I did it in the first unarranged version. Get a lot more echoey remix of Vampire Killer, or not Vampire Killer, Bloody Tears now. It's kind of weird, I guess. Because I couldn't figure out where to put it, but it's kind of weird that they would have Vampire Killer, which is the big iconic Castlevania 1 song, and Bloody Tears, which technically originated from Castlevania 2. But they wouldn't have Beginning, which was the other big song, which was from Castlevania 3. But sure, I would like to hear a version of Beginning that was arranged by the people who made these arrangements. So let's go ahead and try to get past the statue here that cries bloody tears and spawns these blood skeletons by doing so. Well, I could swear it looks a lot like the statue in that one room in the Spirit Temple in Ocarina of Time, but I don't know. Also, I probably should have brought some water, but well, I don't think this will last terribly much longer, so let's go deal with these spikes of death again. At the very least they don't kill you instantly, like they would have in a lot of the older arcade Castlevanias. In those games, spikes are always like instant death. There we go. Kinda weird that they didn't include Beginning, and yet they included this screen, which, I'm all but 100% positive is a reference to one of the screens from Castlevania 3, like I said, one of the first screens from that game. Pretty sure the woman with the blue robe in the back is also in that, assuming it's a woman, I'm actually not sure. Also in the stained glass background of that screen. Could try to confirm it, I guess. Okay, so we hit the stained glass guy, he dissipates, but this still happens, so I fail to see how that helps. So here we go again. Let's see if the Pro Strat still works in arrange mode. It looks like yes, even though I don't think she tried to use a tail whip quite so much before. So she might have wised up a little bit. Okay, yeah. If I get a little closer, no, that actually doesn't help. Okay, there we have it. And there we go, the snakes. Keep getting that wrong. At least I'm pretty sure I've gotten it right at least once in this mode. Well, there's a lot of time left. Guess that's what happens when you don't die, because it's a waste of time. Like Cornshack would say. Alright, so... Oh boy, attempt to do the clock tower level. I might actually die a few times here, because... Oh god. Okay, this one I think sounds pretty similar to the old version. So far. And you're listening to that little repeating 1, 2, 3, 4, however many notes, and just kind of playing the background over and over while the rest of the progression happens. Starting to think more and more that thought I had before, that maybe they remixed that part of the song into one of the boss themes from another game. Might have been a mistake on my part. Mistaken assumption. Or mistaken feeling. I wasn't really assuming it. Alright. Oh boy, I sure hope there we go. I know the horrible... These things are gonna fall out, so... Let's take care of this one immediately. And luckily at least I don't think any of the background gears on the screen hurt you. Oh wow, really gonna react quickly for that. And here comes a part that I still don't know how you're supposed to do it right. Okay, I guess like that is the answer, but you still get hit if you do it like that, okay. Never mind, maybe that wasn't quite it. Maybe that was it, but I just screwed up the timing. That does seem a little bit more, plausible. Oh, damn it, I was trying to get them with the sub-weapon, but... Oh god. All these pointless machines, I don't know. I mean, there's a clock tower in, like, almost every Castlevania game. And most of the time it's where death lives. There's pretty much, it's pretty much one of the exceptions. We got a werewolf here now, and in the couple of other cases I can think of, like the clock tower in Castlevania 4 you fight the mummy boss at the end. But most of the time the clock tower is where death lives. So I don't know, maybe death likes the clock tower. Apparently death and Dracula are buddies if the continuity of this game is any indication. These are all clock tower gears, I guess. Apparently if you have, you need all these gears to run a clock tower. To run... From what I've seen, there's like only one clock on the clock tower too, like, it just has one clock face, so it's not like Big Ben or anything where you have 4 clock faces to worry about, just the one, so... Don't know why they need all these gears to make that work. But apparently they do. Alright, I'm not gonna try to get the candles, because starting to doubt whether or not it's even possible to get over there. To wonder, I guess. Well, to wonder and to doubt are both appropriate in this case, I guess. Oh. I see that they reused the BS gears from... I forget if I said this, but I'm pretty sure the gears that just kind of pop out of the background and rush you were originally in Castlevania 4. I do recall there were a couple of gears like that in the clock tower level. And they were just as bad as you might imagine. Alright. Guess you can knock them off here. Would be even better if they hurt the enemies, but of course they don't. I'm just going up the stairs. Gears can climb upstairs like that, right? Momentum and loss of, or inertia and loss of momentum is not a thing, right? Oh boy, here we go. Well, at least now I got the cross, so it should be easier to take care of these fuckers. If I can aim it right. There we go. And then I missed the jump. And now we get to fight the sea werewolf boss again. Who's actually a lot taller than Simon if you look them side by side. It kind of makes you wonder what her deal is to start with. Can you even hit her when she's like jumping from one place to another? I don't know. She's hit me with 9, okay. Or maybe it was 11. I think that was 11 because 9 is still there. So yeah, I really have no idea how I would do this if I didn't have my fully awakened vampire killer powers. There goes the modesty cloth again. Even though you can't really see anything from that angle. Oh, damn it, I did it too early that time. I don't know, I thought in the original version she kind of stopped throwing shit before all of the clock numbers were gone, but apparently in this version she doesn't. I don't know if that's coincidence or not. So time to fight our evil self again. In the Hall of Mirrors, after we get through the other part, this part. I'll get off the bridge. Time to do the bridge again. See, if you look in the background, pretty much the... Well, there's kind of a stony structure apparently supporting it, but apparently the only thing that supports the castle keep is the stairway that leads up to it. It feels like it shouldn't work that way. Like architecture doesn't follow Dracula rules. And, you know, that's just kind of one example where they actually show... that's one of the instances where they show actually more consistent, or not consistent, but more concrete support, believe it or not. In most of the games it's just like a tiny stairway leading to it. That's, oh god, what's happening? Okay, the music had a bit of a problem there, I guess. I actually get that now. Okay, that's the first time I've gotten that. And it's just 1000 points. That's so worth it, clearly. I don't know what that clipping was about. Well, at least it's gone now. Okay, so we're at the bridge again. Time to... oh god. Okay, there's some kind of lag going on here, I guess. I don't know what's causing it. Apparently it's only in very relatively short bursts, so there's that. Okay, I was lucky. Fully expecting to get hit there, I was. Okay. And I'm pretty surprised that we did that, even though we stumbled once. Okay, the Tower of Dolls is definitely a lot more echoey. And a bit more bassy, or bassy. I don't know how you would say that. I guess bassy. A little bit more bassy from what I remember. Don't really know how you're supposed to dodge those balloon sets. Come up from below. But let me tell you, after seeing Slowbeef play this game, even the version that looked like it was somehow easier, cannot tell you how glad I am that I'm not playing this version without, or this level without my Vampire Hunter powers fully activated. This is one of those screens, man, where it's like, how do we even do this and survive? Especially if you stumble and fall, that's like... It respawns some of the enemies that, are from parts of the screen that you can't see anymore, so it's even worse. Alright, here we are. Back at the Hall of Mirrors. Mirrors that fall down and try to injure you grievously. Including the Sonic Spin Dash mirrors that get on the floor and then do that. Just kind of fling themselves at you. Can't jump off the stairs. No, I can't. Alright. And now time for my favorite enemy in the whole series. So it actually spawns my jump. That's interesting. And the guy that's totally not a pain to fight every time. Well, almost every time. He's a little bit better in some of the later games because you can exploit shit to make the doppelganger fights a little bit more less terrible. But that does not apply to this guy. Explodes into a shower of mirror shards. So what stage is next? If we can... Oh, we only got a couple of stages left. We got Death's Wacky Imprisonment Experimentation Death Laboratory, and then we got Dracula stage. I don't know why the first thing that comes to mind whenever I hear one of these new arranged songs is echoey, but it does. It's always the first thing that pops into my head. Well, this sounds a bit more orchestra-y than the other song. Oh god. Forgot about that guy. Can never see him coming, but there we go. Freaking goofy Cyclops wolf hybrid. Why would Death want something like that, I wonder? And here comes the skeleton spider again, I'm guessing. Yep, there it is. I think we might be able to kill it. I think it just kind of charges you after you hit it enough times, yeah, but you can kill it still. Even though you can also just duck under it and let it go past you, which is what it did the first time. Let's get past this skeleton nonsense quickly. Skeletons and spikes, my favorite thing, clearly. You know, SNS. Best possible combination you could have. Oh, I was wondering what that sound was. It was the spike things coming down. I wasn't sure at first. So let's take the upper path with the skeleton jump rope game this time. Oh. Which I'm apparently not good at jump rope, so you know, it's just like real life. Oh. I just noticed too that like platforms that those swinging blades are swinging from have like tragedy comedy faces, except they're both comedy. They look demonic-ish. Actually, never noticed that before. Okay, that was close, wasn't it? So yeah, they really, I don't know, I was gonna say they really didn't change much in the way of graphics other than Simon and like a few other very minor changes. I think like these two dudes in the background might look a little bit different. This might be... It's a hunch I have a feeling that they look a little bit different before, but pretty much the only things I can think of that they definitely changed were Simon and Dracula. Dracula's first form, at least. I think the second form does look exactly the same. Maybe Frankenstein's monster was... Nope, he looks pretty much the same. Oh, there's number 2 there, okay. Actually, I forgot that was there. Oh god, how are you doing? Oh. You need to stand under me so I can, you know, exploit this stuff. I think you might have picked an inconvenient place for me. I don't know. Okay, there we go. See, we're making it work. So yeah. Sure do love how much health they gave this guy. There he goes. And I wonder how the fuck would you do that if you didn't use that trick with the, you know, just standing over him and just spamming that shit? Have to wonder. So let's fight the evil fetuses again. Can do arcane magic even as fetuses. Go past the little museum of skulls here and realize that we're almost at the boss. Just a couple of screens more should be the place. I do like the sound of this song though, the arranged version. It's pretty nice, I would say. I'd say it sounds a lot like a song from Symphony actually, and I love all the music from that game. Could pass off as a song from that. I'm pretty sure this version was, funnily enough, I'm pretty sure this version, the arranged version, was released after Symphony was out. I think we might actually get to hear a little bit about it in one of the little bonus things that you can find in this game. Well, in the menu, it's not like hidden or anything. So let's get japed by the background again and... And the MC Escher painting, which I'm pretty sure is anachronistic, like I said. And the weird transparency layer that is this painting. Evil Mr. Burns, Wall of Death and Despair from The Simpsons again. Not remembering that wrong, I hope. And our old buddy again, Mr. Grim Reaper. We have 99 hearts. It's probably gonna take a while to get through those. And again, we're relatively low on time, but not quite as low as we were before. Notice that Grim Reaper has some mercy invincibility in this. I forget if we had that before. I think he did. But how you can still get hit by the scythe after he dies. Okay. Oh, there's number 3. Never even knew that was there. You know what? Just do this. Or and still mess up the timing. Oh well, that's a different frame at least. Pretty sure I got that in the time to turn all these hearts into points, but pretty sure I got the pose right when I did this in the other version. And now for the final stage. Hey. Well, rather than sounding Castlevania 40, which is how I would describe the original version of this song, it sounds, this version of Simon's theme sounds a lot more booming. You know, for the first time, I guess I could say, the first word that pops into my mind to describe this music is not echoey, but rather booming. Really broke out all the orchestra stuff for this one, I guess. So I went the other way before. I went like to the far right end of this place. Let me see if I can backtrack now and take these stairs on the left this time. See if this looks any different. I guess this is Dracula's weapon museum. Had shields before, and now we have these things. Oh god. We'll meet here, and yeah, we can actually get it this time. We can take a peek at the Jesus shrine over there. That's it's just the fact that it's there is an Easter egg. It doesn't look like you can do anything in there. Might be wrong, but I don't know if I want to really go out of my way to find out how wrong I am right now. Hey look, the knife is actually useful for once. Kind of, even if it takes forever to kill that guy with it. Now we are back at the same place, which is the place with the chandeliers that fall and make the giant flames come up. No. Yeah, never trust the chandeliers. It's a pretty good rule of thumb when playing a Castlevania game, oh god. Don't think I quite got to the point where there were 3 of these guys on the screen before. And here we did it. Now for the final, one of the final jumping sections. I think there's like one more indoor section after this, before Dracula. Time for the horrible jump that is probably still exactly the same, if I had to imagine. Maybe we did it. And I couldn't dodge that guy this time, but oh well. Clearly a big problem. Except it isn't, say the thing, but I actually mean the opposite of the thing. That's funny, isn't it? And now let's just see if we can course past the ninja maids. Very hard to see Black Panthers that are also here. And they'll eventually leave. Eventually after they've had enough, but enough is a lot for them, I guess. So I guess sometimes you can hurt the Persephone maids too. Or they go into their other form where they start throwing chi blasts, but yeah, that form, thanks for demonstrating. Don't know how to do that without just killing them when they're in their initial form. But I do believe we're pretty much at Dracula's place now. So let's see how different the music is. Shall we? I think, if I recall, the first part of the fight is just going to be the same boss theme that we've been hearing for all the other bosses. But the second part is what I'm really interested in. Yep. Yep, what is a man? And then... and here he comes. So his humanoid form, as you can see here, looks a little bit different, a bit more detailed. It's one of the big enemies they decided to redo, I guess. And by one of the, I mean the big enemies they decided to redo, because I don't remember like any more big confrontations that were this graphically different. It looks even more smug now. When he throws the fireball, he's like, hey, check it out. Look what I got. No, and then he does switch to Spooky Face. Didn't just imagine that. Which I guess might be a little nod to Castlevania 4, where he does the same thing when he's about to die. But in Castlevania 4 he doesn't have a second form, unless you count Spooky Face as his second form. So here we go. His head gets completely knocked off, like in Castlevania 1 actually. That happens too, but in that game the blood does not converge. But in this one it does, so... unfortunately the second form does look the same, but it doesn't sound the same. Now it sounds like a rave. Sounds very much like a rave. And I guess this could be a good time to mention too, by the way, that... do you know what this song is called, canonically? It is called You Goddamn Bathead. Don't know why they chose that title, but they did. You might remember glimpsing that if you were paying attention when I was going through the music mode earlier. I kind of wanted to let it play out a little more, just to hear it, because I really do like how this song sounds in the arranged version. Oh. He ran into me and that killed him, okay. Thought that only happened with non-bosses. Oh, hey, I got it right for the final confrontation. That's pretty appropriate. And we... well, this is new. We got a CG ending now, instead of the other ending. I think this might... they might have reused some of the CG castle assets from Symphony of the Night for this. Like, maybe touched them up a little. This looks fairly familiar after playing Symphony. And there it is. There it goes. And now we get a scrolling credit scene, but you know, it's kind of strange that we don't get to see Simon like standing on a cliff and the castle's crumbling in the background, because that's how they usually handle it. Well, that's how they handle it in Castlevania 4 anyway, and that's like a big iconic ending scene. You've seen a lot of the other games, you do just see the castle crumbling. A lot of the other classic games, at least. Thanks, Dave Cox. Dave Cox. Is that the same Dave Cox that was later involved in Lords of Shadow? I don't know. That name sounds familiar. Thanks, Michiko Tokoro. Hideo Axe Ueda, I see that he's still there. Same as Shin-chan. Well, these are the original stuff credits. Thanks to Kiyohiko Yamane. I wonder if that could be a relation of Michiru Yamane, who was the big composer for Castlevania after Symphony. Maybe it was after Bloodlines, I don't know. I recall that she also did the music for that. And I'm fairly confident that she did all the arranged music for, you know, the arranged mode, so there's that. This came out in 2001. Well, they re-released it. Came out 8 years after the original. Yeah, let's overwrite the existing save data. Because why wouldn't we? We did just make an incredible accomplishment, I'm sure you'll agree. So, you might have noticed too, that was the arranged mode, and that was Castlevania Chronicles, I guess. Which is technically just Castlevania if you follow the title of the original release. It was just Castlevania. So, we got a special option, added especially for fans outside Japan. Wonder what it could be. It's an illustration gallery by Ayami Kojima. Let's check it out, why not? This is the artwork. I guess this is what Simon looks like now. That's what Dracula looks like now too, I guess. Pretty sure this was released after Symphony 2. Yeah, Symphony was 97. How well do you know there's some of the artwork from Symphony as well? It's just there as a bonus, I suppose. I guess fans outside Japan wanted to see this. I can't help but notice though that most of the artwork is from Symphony. Like only the first few pictures were from this game. By the way, check out the censorship. Bit of a call forward there. Or call back technically. Oh god. I just noticed, you know, this picture makes me notice how horribly blurry the command is that lets you, the command window is that tells you what button does what. So, I also get an interview with the producer. I wonder who that could be. Some background into the project's info on the projects you worked on in the past. Hey, it's our boy. Are they gonna say who it is, or am I gonna have to spell out that this is Koji Igarashi? Well, I already did, so it's too late. It's just the producer, I guess. You have a personal favorite Castlevania? Well, Kumajo Densetsu. And Rondo of Blood. Until now. Why choose this particular Castlevania title for revival on PS1? I want to know that too. Why not Vampire Killer? You know, I say with total seriousness. Why didn't they remake Simon's Quest for the PS1? One of the greatest games, I guess. I don't know, I think my favorite Castlevania from the classic games is Rondo of Blood or Bloodlines, probably. Maybe even Castlevania 4, I don't know. But the thing is, I probably wouldn't say that this one is. It's a good thing that they ported it over, at least. Very simple story.
誰でも知っているお話だと思います。で、ゲーム性なんですけれども、その1作目のリメイクということもありまして、ゲーム性はその流れを受け継いでおります。ただプレイヤーのですね、操作性が非常に格段に良くなっております。
Well, you could do that too in... Other than the jump thing, you could do that a lot better in Castlevania 4, you know.
ジャンプ中にですけれども、下方向に打つことができる。プレイヤーの操作性が上がっていることで、非常にまたゲームもより面白くなっていると。
Yeah, I suppose. I don't know. I guess, you know, it is true what they say that, what the AVGN says at least, that once you play Castlevania 4 and get used to the diagonal whip, you will be spoiled by it and miss it in every classic Castlevania title after that, but... I don't know. It's kind of an interesting choice to implement that partially. I guess it's what I was leading up to with that. Like, it only works downwards, even though you use it upwards most of the time in Castlevania 4. What is it about the series that endears it to people? Well, it's deep story. I'm not so sure about that, but... It's contrived story, I guess. The way I would enunciate it is... contrived, but not in a bad way. Like, contrived in that it goes in a little different directions, but it's still followable, unlike, say, Kingdom Hearts, that is just a giant jumble. Release date for any new games not confirmed yet? Well, now it is. This was 2001, so... What Castlevania game came out after this? Let me see. Castlevania game that came out after this was... What was it? Where's Chronicles? 2001. Circle of the Moon, maybe? Symphony of the Night, blah blah blah. What was the reason behind the change? Well, actually I'm not so sure myself, but I think Igarashi here was the big instigator for that. アクションゲームを長く遊ばせるっていう方法を考えたかったんですね。今までのキャッスルバニアっていうのは One Direction type of games. クリアしていくタイプだったんですけれども、そうではなくて、Something more exploration, something with more exploration. Okay. I was gonna say exploration is not an adjective. Is he even gonna mention Metroid though? That's what I wanna know. 非常にそのアクションゲームが得意な人はエンディングまで見れないというのはそのお金分だけ楽しんでるとはとても思えない。そこで成長することによってそのアクションゲームがそんなに得意じゃない人でも最後まで楽しんでもらおう。そういう考え方を盛り込んでいった結果がシンフォニー・オブ・ザ・ナイトっていう作品になりました。Well, that's pretty true, I gotta say. Very interesting and deep. I don't know if I would say deep, like I said, to describe the Castlevania story, but... they're good stories, I suppose. But they're also an example of, simplicity works best most of the time. Hope you enjoyed one of our first remake version from the old Castlevania games. Hope to see you soon in the next Castlevania. Well, funny they should say that, because they didn't make a lot of remakes of any games other than Castlevania 1. So that was our interview with Iga, and I think that's pretty much the end of that. So I'm guessing the other game that they were talking about might have been... Let me see. When did Bloodlines come out exactly? It was... no, Chronicles. Came out in October, okay. In October of 2001 in North America. And Circle of the Moon came out earlier that year in North America too, so... I'm guessing that the next Castlevania game he was talking about was Harmony of Dissonance, which was the game that came after that. But I don't know, he might have already been working on Aria, which is my favorite Castlevania. But yeah, that was... in other news, that was Castlevania Chronicles. And load and save the data from memory card, or change the... you can change the game level. Actually, I forgot about this. Turn off the time limit or give yourself more lives, which... kind of a moot point when you play like... oh shit, I was trying to do that. Old-timey intro. But yeah, that was Castlevania Chronicles for the PS1 remake of Castlevania Kumajo Dracula on the Sharp X68000. Or X68K, whatever you call it. And I don't think I would say it's my favorite one of my favorite Castlevanias, but it's pretty good, and if you wait around long enough, the intro repeats, I guess. I'm guessing that's what this is. Maybe there's a demo? No, there's a demo. Okay. And I guess something else I could say, take into account that some of the graphics from this game, some of the sprites from, like, the original version even. Not to say, as we found out, that there's that much different between the original and arranged version, visuals-wise. But some of the sprites did end up pretty much becoming a template for stuff in later Castlevanias. I think in particularly the skeleton ones. So this would, and there's a few other things, as I mentioned, some other kind of background visual details like this right here. That get referenced in a subtle way in some of the later Castlevanias that, come to think of it. One of the games, Aria of Sorrow, which has an area in it, in the inner quarters section of the castle, that is pretty much a reference to the room right before the doppelganger fight in this. Apparently it was being made not a too different time from when Higurashi was working on this remake, so that would explain that at least, I guess. That would certainly show that there's a definite connection between these things. Well, the demo was doing really well up until that point, so I think that's my cue to retire. Retire for now, cause it's already quite a bit later, cause I started later, cause I was waiting for that other generic DualShock style controller that I bought turned out to be no good, to make a long story short, and was waiting for since I pretty much ran out of options after that, just to be able to get a DualShock style controller. What I ended up doing was ordering a DualShock 4, which is what I was using for this, but apparently FedEx keeps delivering until it's really late, like up to 9 PM according to their website, and it arrived at 7 PM. So I ended up starting late. That was the big reason. Well, at least it works, It works so much better than the other one, and it has this touchpad thing which I can use to move the mouse if I connect it to the computer, which I have to do with the Kindle cable, which is micro USB because it doesn't come with its own cable. That's kind of cheap, but at least I foresaw this. Actually, I had no idea what the weird pad thing was going to be for, but now I know. Well, it's kind of unfortunate that it takes up so much space, admittedly, because the buttons are pretty much used in place of start and select are kind of tiny and easy to miss now. But at least, it's punctuated with it's so much better than the generic has other one that I got beforehand, so there's that. There's that. The D-pad on this thing was horrible, so were the buttons, but this one works quite a bit better. So instead of just complaining about that for another 30 minutes, I'm going to end the stream now, so I will see you on Thursday probably. Don't know if anyone's gonna be streaming on Wednesday like they've been doing for the past few weeks. But assuming that they do, I will be seeing you on Thursday with the start of the next game, which might actually take more than one stream to get through for once. And, well, all I have to say about that right now is skeletons and motorcycles. So let me play you out with this. Oh god, that's so much louder than the actual game, I forgot about that. 64, maybe. So let me turn down the volume to an adequate level and play you out with this.